everyone, welcome in. Thank you for joining me. My name is Marlene and I am with A Room to Bloom. So it is evening, later in the evening, and I noticed today that it happens to be the birthday of like a past family member, okay? And so, we could say like a family friend. And one of the things that I thought of and I think of quite frequently when I think of him is a time when I was going through some really challenging times, and I was ill. We can just leave it at that. And so he had come over to work on our house, and there were some things that he had done in the past, right? But there was something that came up that was like just this little extra thing that, or something happened, I can't remember, that needed to be done, right? But he was extremely gracious and came over to fix this for me, and it was very surreal, because I remember, there were many people there in the home, but I personally was in bed, but I could hear the work, right? I could hear the work being done, and it wasn't like a super long job. Probably whatever it was within an hour, something to that effect. But it was like, I remember the feeling of listening to him work, being so incredibly grateful for him coming over and doing that work. And he wouldn't take anything, for it. He was just so incredibly gracious, right? And it was one of those things that I looked back even more in hindsight, where it was like, it seemed very auspicious or very mysterious, because it's like I knew he was coming over, but we didn't talk face to face. I heard work being done, right? And then he was gone, right? Now, and by the way, his workmanship was excellent, right? And so I literally was thinking about that when I decided to come on and get this message, because of course my computer shows the date, right? And so I was thinking about him. So I opened up this book called Moments of Peace in the Presence of God, and I asked for a message, and it's just so hand in hand with this message. So I wanted to share it. It says, "A new name. He put a new song in my mouth, a song of praise to our God. Many will see and fear and will trust in the Lord." That's Psalm 43. It says, "There is a town in England named Christ Church, and it received its name in a most interesting way. Many years ago, some men were building a church there and were joined in their work by a stranger who was an excellent carpenter. He worked harder than, I have goosebumps everywhere. He worked harder than anyone else, but would never accept any pay. When the church was completed, a dedication service was held, but the stranger did not attend. He was never seen in their town again. As the townspeople pondered this mystery, they decided the stranger was none other than Jesus, the carpenter from Nazareth. After only a little deliberation, they voted to change the name of their town from Twynham to Christ Church. When Jesus comes to your heart, nothing stays the same. He revives you, and then he revises you. Revives and then revises you. I'm sorry, like I have a lot of tickling on my head and goosebumps. It says, create in me a clean heart, O God, and put new and right spirit within me. And that's Psalm 51:10. Dear God, you change my fear to faith, my reluctance to resolve, and my uneasiness to peace. I give thanks for your transforming power in my life. And you know, I have this book and it's called like Miracles. Okay, I'm sorry, I have it in the other room. So I'm gonna have to step. I'll try to make a note of it in the comments section. But in that book, there are a number of stories that this type of situation, you know, whether it was an angel, right, where someone steps in, this is a conversation, just, you know, just like these fleeting moments. Somebody gets pulled out of a car accident, right? And people say, where'd that person go? They're just gone. Yeah, I'm full of goosebumps again. There is a country western song called Private Malone, and if you have never heard it, it's really a great song. I'm sorry, I don't know who wrote it. I don't have it in front of me, but again, it kind of speaks about a situation like this and how moving, right? When and that really gives us that reminder that God lives within everyone, right? And you know how angelic beings work and higher vibrational beings, right? So it's just so lovely because in heaven, money isn't necessary, right? It isn't necessary. But you know, I just thought that was really neat. And you know, now that I realize all of this, I was guided and I have this open. I didn't really put this together. I just kind of grabbed these, but it always unfolds like it's supposed to. So I grabbed this deck called A Guide to the Guardian Angel Oracle. So let's see what comes up that might be helpful for you in your journey. Oh, I am going to stop for just a minute because there was one other thing. I'd got this deck called Fortune Cookies, and I just like asked to be shown something, and so I put it up on the top here. But what it says is opportunities. A stranger is about to change your life. Exciting times and plenty of action. Plus a special family reunion looks likely. So isn't that lovely, right? A special family reunion looks likely. That, you know, this just feels very hopeful. And think about like all the hope that Jesus brought to people who were suffering, right? So, you know, I just feel like that's so in line. So let's see what comes up that would be helpful for you today. Staying hopeful, knowing that the divine does work in wonderful ways. And when you ask, you shall receive. When you knock, the door will open. When you seek, you shall find, right? And so understanding there is more than just this physical realm. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, you can't make this stuff up. Ascension, right? That's what Jesus did, right? Is considered now an ascended master, right? Or even was, maybe, I'm not sure if I'm wording that right, but ascension, it's like moving through. And it's interesting how these are the chakra colors, right? So our root, our sacral, our solar plex, our heart, our throat, that would be our crown chakra, our third eye chakra, and then our crown. I mean, they're not in the order, but then it's like all this white light, right? So you could be experiencing ascension symptoms and you know, or ascending yourself. And so when your vibration is raising, it's like it's easier to connect and to feel, to see more. I think about these words, and I'm sorry, I don't want to misspeak them, but Jesus said, "Take my yoke." That he's gentle, that he's gentle, and uh, that he's gentle. And I think about that feeling, like when you see an egg yolk, like how it just like it's very um, relaxing, right? And so when you're kind of in that state, you can tap into more. Look at the stars there, right? That's like information coming here to this person who's ascending. We'll read this, but I'm going to take a couple more cards too and see what else comes up before I read. Okay, and we have purpose, right? So, we're all here for a purpose, right? And it can take time sometimes to figure out what that is. What is our mission? What is our work here? What are we doing? What is the greater purpose of our being here? We were all given different gifts. Again, this image is really just beautiful, right? This angel holding their hands over their heart, the light shining from within. What lights you up? Okay, we have a discovery. So this again still feels like ascension. She has her foot on one of the stairs. One of the stairs, and then she's got a map in her hand. It's like, what are you being called to experience, right? Maybe going on some type of a spiritual quest, if you will. What are you being called to experience? The next one we have is knowledge. Ooh, I like this card. Like, I don't know if you can quite capture that, but those are silver light beams that come through there. And so they have like this, yeah, I think when I do that, you can kind of see it better. But this angel sits here reading, opening the book, and like the knowledge he's seeking, right? Seeking in the answers, finds the answers. Discovery. What are you looking for? Seeking knowledge. Okay, and what do you receive when you do that? You receive the truth, right? You receive the truth. Okay, so let's go to, I really do want to use this book. So these are not in order. Just have to remember. Oh, okay. So this is Archangel Uriel. Well, at least I thought it was. I'm sorry, there are not colors in here. Hold on. I'm going to go to the beginning of the book and find out. It is, but they're not in alphabetical order. Okay, it is Archangel Uriel. And the symbols for ascension are wings, the spectrum of light, the staircase. That's when I saw that other one. Jacob's ladder, the rope, the eagle, and the chariot. Okay? It says, I ascend to a higher level of understanding, joy, and freedom. Each of us is on our spiritual journey through life with the goal of coming closer to the divine. Some steps in this journey may occur as life-changing events. Others may be smaller, simpler experiences in everyday existence. So if you hear people talk about tower moments, right? So bigger things in our life that kind of shake us, and people say the universe shakes us to awaken us, or we start to awaken to what is. But some it feels like that yoke experience where it's just like wow, that's the best way I can explain that. So, maybe not, but anyway, the angel of ascension signals that you are about to take a huge step upward, interesting, in your soul's journey. You may become more sensitive to the energies around you, including angelic energy, right? You may feel no need, you may feel no need for guidance from other people. Coincidences may occur to hasten you on your path. Call on the angel to support you and make the process more joyous. Ask her to help you to let go of fear and to see the divine in everything. Aim to bring awareness and love to all you do. Yeah, I that's like such a great message, right? I just want to read the headline again. I ascend to a higher level of understanding, joy, and freedom, right? So we understand what's going on. Therefore, through that we have joy, and because we are joyous, we have freedom. What do we have freedom from? So many things. Pain, right? Pain, suffering, things that we don't need anymore because we are ascending. And that was something we were given in our human experience, right? Emotions. And so when we're ascending more, it's like we're seeing things from a higher perspective. We're not getting as wrapped up in our emotions. We're not letting our emotions run the show, if you will. We might feel them. We might still feel them, but they're not running everything. But this is a practice, right? Meditation is a practice, this type of thing. So let's go to purpose. Again, oops. I do have to use the book for this, or the beginning of the book, because I shouldn't write the page numbers on these cards. I just like to keep everything in good shape. Okay. The symbols are footprints. That's interesting. I didn't even notice them. Light, Mars, planet Mars, horse and rider, the bow and arrow, and the ribbon are associated with purpose. I live in accordance with my soul's purpose. Your soul yearns to fulfill its purpose in life, to express your true self. The angel of purpose is here to show you how. Consider your work, personal life, and your beliefs, and review the steps that brought you to this point. If these aspects of life fill you with energy, it is a sign that they are vital to your soul's purpose. However, if any of them make you feel tired, depressed, or even ill, you need to change them. Sit quietly and call on the angel of purpose to help you. Then make a list of all the things that you would love to do. Start by doing the smallest one and work through the list. As you spend more time following your heart, right? So like a bucket list, you will attract positive energy that will help you in bringing your dreams to fruition. I'm just thinking about if there's something I want to speak on right now. I'm going to just make a note on something and we'll see if I get back to it. I don't want to get too distracted here, so let me just write this down. Okay. So isn't that, those are just, the words are just so powerful, right? If these aspects of life fill you with energy, it's a sign that they are vital to your soul's purpose. It's like breath, you know what I mean? Like it gives you energy. You feel alive, right? You feel alive again. You don't feel numb, tranced out, dull, depressed, sad, right? Um, However, if you notice that what you're doing, right, your work, whatever's going on in your work, your personal life, um, and your beliefs, if they do not make you feel, if they end up making you feel tired, depressed, or even ill, you need to change them, right? It is a call to self-recognize, to self-awareness. Like, it's like we have to wake up and say, why have I been doing this for so long when I know it's not feeling resonant with my soul? It's causing me discord, right? And so when we choose to if you want to use the terms take a leap, right? We're taking a leap of faith. And even though we can't see what is all there, it's going to be like, I'm going to trust that whatever I let go of, I'm letting go of it. It's that door is going to close, but a new one's going to open that is more resonant with my soul, right? And it's this, I always have this vision of like it can feel like there's going to be a space in between, right? Like how long will that space be between when I close this door and another one opens? But here's the experience I've had. If you've ever seen square dancing, and I think they call it do-si-do, where they go around in a big group and they kind of take hands, every other person or whatever. But it's like this reaching out, and it's that moment, right, where that's like you maybe don't have that other person's hand, but you have trust and faith that that next person is coming, and that is what working with God, with your angels, with your guides is like, right? And so once we release the fear and we lean into trust and faith, we have these amazing experiences, right? So really writing that list out, what is really resonating with me, and what is kind of like, we can have the not so much, or I'm not that excited about it, but we can also have the ones that are like, I can't go one more day. Like if it's a job, if it is, maybe it's a college, maybe it's maybe you joined a bowling league or something, and you're like, you're just like, thought you could do it, but it's like, this is not resonating with me. It could be the idea of bowling. It could be the group of people you're bowling with. It could be the noise in the bowling alley. Just like the whole experience is like, it's what you thought in a moment might be all right. It's like once you got into it, it's like, oh no. So some people have fear of shifting, or fear of letting other people down, or fear of looking flaky, because they actually became more self-aware and went, oh no, this does not resonate with me. Think about the college students who go and they change they're going for their minors, their basics, pardon me, and then they're, people are going, what are you going to school for? And they don't even know yet, right? They're just trying to get the classes under their belt. They're trying to develop some patterns. But then they because everyone's going, what are you doing? What are you doing? They feel pressured to find something, right? And the family's like, they're expected to go to college. So they finally pick something that seems like, okay, they don't even know what they're doing. And yet they get in it and they're like, oh, no, this does not align. So they might change their major, right? And sometimes people change it 2 or 3 times. That does not mean anyone is a failure. It actually means they have courage to align with their soul, and they're listening to themselves saying, I'm not going to pretend that I'm all about this. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to throw in the towel in 5 minutes. I'm going to give it kind of a sense of something and go, and then maybe it'll be like, no, this is not it, right? So trusting what lights you up, trusting what feels easy and energetic. That's how you know. Okay. The next one is discovery, and this is falling under Archangel Raphael. So Archangel Raphael is the angel of healing. My life is a wonderful journey of discovery. Symbols are flight of stairs, map, star, boat, open door, magnifying glass, and a book. Okay, so again, here it is. Regardless of age or level of knowledge, making discoveries about yourself and the world can awaken your sense of awe and wonder of the universe. The angel of discovery encourages you to keep your mind open to fresh information and experiences at all times. Ask the angels to provide opportunities for you to visit places, to meet new people, and to try your hand at new activities. Call on her to enhance your senses so that your sight becomes clearer and your hearing sharper. Ask her to show you how to act in a more loving and conscious way to benefit yourself and the environment. In this way, you will enrich your soul and climb to new heights of inspiration. So there's something about this that is, okay. So I wanted to share with you. I was in a store today, and there was not like super elderly lady, but maybe she was 65, 70, something like that. Maybe she was older. But she practically stopped me in my tracks because, I mean, her makeup was like she was going to go step on to a photo shoot. And she was in a, what do you call it? One of those carts, right? But I mean, I had to stop her and say, oh my gosh, you are like, you look lovely, right? I just told her that. And, and I mean, I've never done that with anybody about their makeup ever that I remember, right? But it was just like, it was just, she just presented herself so nice. And anyway, we were talking for a minute. She goes, well, yeah, I did it because of, I thought she said like she had a bruise on her face or something, but I couldn't see it. She goes, oh, you can't see it? I said, no, I don't see anything. Well, then while we were talking, another lady came up that she knew. And she said, oh, she always looks beautiful. But then the lady ended up saying that she had a birthmark or something on her face. And she goes, I don't like wearing it. And then I was telling her a story about another lady with makeup, how she didn't like to do it. It felt like a chore to her. But when she finally shifted her attitude to it being a loving, caring gift she was giving herself, where she was calm and patient, and this lady and I had a really lovely talk. And so it was just interesting, this idea of like meeting new people, right? And it can be in a store, just when you're running a couple errands. I mean, I wasn't expecting to stop and just be like, wow, she just looks amazing and her makeup's so beautiful. I mean, you would think that she rolled in somewhere and had her professional makeup done before she went there. And she was really surprised. She was as surprised as I was, right? It was kind of funny, but neat, right? Anyway, so the next one is knowledge. And this falls after that discovery card, right? Again, it says, ask the angel to help you provide you opportunities to visit new places, meet new people, try your hand at new activities so you can gain more knowledge, right? We gain knowledge all along our journey in so many ways. It isn't just from books. It's through conversations. It's things that are presented in front of us, right? And so, I don't know, it's just lovely. Let's go ahead to the next one here that speaks about the knowledge, though. Oh, we're going to go back one yet. Okay, the symbol for knowledge is book, scrolls, the fig tree, light, apple, the druid or monk, a fountain, a grapevine, or gold. I will come to know all that I need to know as I need to know it. This is really important in this journey because sometimes we're really fighting to get an answer. And when we surrender and we release, and it's like, I don't know what television shows, but they would be like, you'll get the information on an as you need to know basis, right? And you don't have to push for it. It unfolds, right, as it's supposed to, and you just trust it. You're like, okay, cool, right? So it says, learning is not just a matter of gathering facts. It also involves being attuned to the world around you, right? It's not just books. So that you can broaden your awareness and you can build a store of experience to nourish your intuition and wisdom, right? It's all around us. Possibilities for increasing your knowledge can appear in any form: a course of study or training, to the chance to pursue a hobby in greater depth. Perhaps a particular person, experience, environment, or book opens you up to new avenues of thought for you. Take the opportunity if it excites you, even if the timing feels a little strange. Again, that's getting that feeling of, okay, I'm feeling a resonance here, right? And so instead of putting out the words I can't, it's like I am. I'm making adjustments in my schedule. I know that this feels authentic. I know that this is an alignment for me, right? So empowering words versus disempowering words. The angel of knowledge counsels you that this learning is an integral part of your journey in life, and that he will support you in your endeavors, right? So really lovely. Okay, and the last one we have here is the card of truth. And so Archangel Michael is what this card is about. And Archangel Michael carries the sword of truth, right? So I'm looking forward to reading this one. Oh, it's right here. So the symbols of truth are white chrysanthemums, a mirror, reflection, the cubit, or an old measure length from the middle finger to the elbow. How interesting. I didn't know that. Okay. Each of us has our own truth gained from our own experiences and beliefs and from the people around us. However, our views might not always be an accurate reflection of reality. So we sometimes need to reassess them so that we can avoid self-deception, right? Have we dug in our heels so far that we're like, well, that's what I know and that's it, right? And but if you have a different experience and no one else was involved, your perception might start changing, right? The angel of truth teaches that while you need to respect others' views, you must face the mirror of truth by yourself. Listen to your feelings and conscious at all times. Open your mind to object reality by sitting quietly for a few minutes, focusing on your breath and also the sights and the sounds around you. Ask the angels to give you some sort of sign when you are close to the truth about a matter in hand, okay? So let me give you an example. You can ask questions. But get quiet and see what happens. You could hear You can ask a question, your thoughts. You can ask it out loud. You can journal it and then just sit quietly with the question. Um, so let me give you an example. If you asked a question about, um, let's take this purpose one because, right, if you're looking for help with your purpose. So if you're sitting quietly, you're like, okay, can you, I'm calling on my angelic team, spirit guides, God, Jesus, right? Ascended masters, the angel of purpose to step forth and to help guide me in what my purpose is here right now, right? What am I doing? What would you like for me to know about my purpose? And so let's just say now you've written this down and you're sitting there for a while, listening. But you can also be relaxed. You can close your eyes and see if any thoughts pop in, any visions come through. What are you listening to? So, for instance, you could have you, I really don't want to fill that in, but okay, I'm going to give you an example. So let's say that you're sitting there and all of a sudden you hear someone playing guitar out your window. And maybe you've heard it before, so you don't really think it's something new. But you just asked a question, and now the guitar is being played. And maybe you're sitting there waiting for something else, something which you might perceive as bigger or different, right? But then so let's say that you're like, okay, well, I'm not getting anywhere with this, right? So you hop on your phone for a minute and you look through, and in a couple minutes you see 3 pictures with guitars in them, right? And then the next thing you do is you hear, so say names of guitars like Gibson, Taylor, um, you know, um, Martin. These are all names of guitars, right? And so let's just say you turn on your radio and the speaker says names like, whatever, that are names of guitars. Now you start catching on to, oh, maybe this has something to do with playing the guitar or with music or whatever, right? but you have to start to trust it, and maybe you'll get one message. But like if you're new to this and you're really trying to figure out how your angels communicate with you, okay, so that might be at your home or residence or whatever. But let's say now you go out and you ask the question again, right? Say now you're at a restaurant or something, or you're in a store, and your intention is to go into the store to be guided to help you with your purpose. What will they show you to get added confirmation, right? So all these random things happen that have to do with guitars, and so you get this confirmation, right? And so that's like really really cool when you start tuning in and the yoke word is coming to me again, where you feel very relaxed and you're like, oh, this is pretty cool, right? So that was one question. And then the next question might be, well, if this is my purpose, will you send in, the telephone rings, you don't even get the thought out, will you please send someone, phone's ringing, and you're kind of thinking, wait, I'm doing this, I don't want to answer the call. So maybe you let the call go. But then, can you send somebody in who's going to help me with this? Right? And then you get busy and you're doing whatever and you haven't seen whatever this is. Then you go to pick the call up later, and it's someone who, say you were looking for work or something, right? And they're like, hi, this is Taylor, and we have an offer for you, right? And so, again, it's like, okay, so you were thinking the thought, you didn't even get the thought, oh, the phone rings. Again, it's another guitar name. So maybe somebody at that job or whatever, in that, just having a conversation. It's like following the trail, right? You're discovering something new as you go along your way. The knowledge doesn't have to come from a book. You can start to lean into wonder. You can start to see that the truth is that we're all connected, and it's like really amazing when you start to trust it and you let go of this has to be this way, and you start to really realize that there is more than just this physical realm, right? So I'm going to check where we're at. We're already at 40 minutes, so I'm not going to get into I think we are just simply going to let that be. I think my nose is tickling. Yeah, I'm going to read this one card one more time about the opportunities. A stranger is about to change your life. Okay, so remember I said this name, Taylor. Exciting times and plenty of action, plus a special family reunion looks likely. So again, really lovely message. I hope this is helpful for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.